one that came through, and many of the critically injured people are in fact people with respiratory problems.
Now, these numbers that you've been talking about, again, they're only giving out the number of people who are confirmed dead, 6 in the hospital at the last count, and the number treated in the hospital as the injured. The numbers, eventually, they have to be much higher.
I think everybody believes the numbers are much, much higher. The estimates are that as many as 20,000 people may have been in the World Trade Center buildings when the airplane struck. And there's no way of knowing, of course, how many of those people might have got out. But it is clear that people who were above the point in the building where the plane struck, if you were in one of those floors that was higher than that, there would have been a massive fire below you, and your chances of getting out would have been very difficult. So it's clear that many of those people did not make it. We've heard descriptions earlier in the day of people being seen jumping or being thrown by the force of a blast out of the building and falling to the ground. Also, there have been reports of many missing people. Now, these are not confirmed dead, but missing. More than 200 firefighters. One recent estimate said 265 firefighters who actually went into the building after the hit, but before it collapsed, are reported missing and are presumed dead. And more than 100 people at the Pentagon, which also was hit today, also are dead. So by any estimate, the total number of dead has got to be in the thousands.
John Hambleton, thanks very much. I know it's going to be a long and difficult night for you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Our number is 800-989-8255, 800-989-8255. Where were you today? What were you doing? How did the news come to you? Before we take your calls, though, we want to listen to some of the sounds and some of the voices of the day today.
I was just standing here watching the World Trade Center after the first plane hit. I just saw a second plane come in from the south and hit the South Tower. I can't tell you anything more than that. I saw the plane hit the building.
We heard a big bang, and then we saw smoke coming out, and everybody started running out, and we saw the plane on the other side of the building, and there was smoke everywhere, and people are jumping out the windows. Over there, they're jumping out the windows, I guess because they're trying to save themselves. I don't know. And I don't know, everybody just doesn't know where to go. They won't let, everything is blocked off. You can't even, they're telling us to get out, but there's nowhere to go. And then I heard that another plane hit, and if you go over by there, you can see the people jumping out the window. They're jumping out the window right now. Oh my God.
Looks like 6, 7 floors were taken out. And there's more explosions right now. Hold on, people are running.
Hold on just a moment. We've got an explosion inside.
The building's exploding right now. You got people running up the street.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll tell you what's going on.
Okay, just put Winston on pause there for just a moment.
Okay, the whole building just exploded some more. The whole top part.
Okay.
The building's still intact. People are running up the street.
The first impact, what the first impact did, it drew people out into the street and the surrounding area. And the second impact, when that happened, everyone rushed away from the building because there was showering debris everywhere. As far as where I got out, 3 blocks south.
Mr. Mayor, you were one of the first people down there. Can you describe the scene in your own words, what you saw down there?
I don't know that I'm really able to describe it. It was the most horrific scene I've ever seen in my whole life. We saw the World Trade Center in flames, a big gaping hole all the way on the top of it. We could see people jumping from the top of the building.
The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger.
Eyewitnesses of today's tragedy in New York City, including Mayor Rudolph Giuliani. We also heard right there at the end President George W. Bush speaking in the Oval Office earlier this evening in a televised broadcast address to the nation. Let's now go to the telephones. Our number, 800-989-8255. Where were you when the news came in today? Joining us now is Bill, who's on the line from Frederick, Maryland.
I was at work, and talking about the Change for America. It's not so much the Change for America contrasted me today was the contrast between, I was dealing this morning with a large number of individuals who were World War II generation, World War II veterans, and listening to them and their reactions as this thing came in, and the calmness in which they took it, the resolve they had, and the concern for the people there and who are experiencing the problems, the families, as opposed to some of the comments I've heard so far tonight on your show, and the standpoint that it's oh, this is awful. The world will go on. The United States will go on. The United States is strong. The strength of it is not necessarily have a quick reaction, as I forget who the name of your one female commentator was that came after the president spoke was, well, there's no details. What's he going to do? I don't think that President FDR had a whole bunch of details on the 8th of December in 1941 when he spoke to the American people either. It takes time to get things done. We do to resolve. And my personal resolve today was the fact that after watching both Mayor Giuliani and Mayor Williams and their reactions, watching the resolve of, and I was very pleasantly surprised by the coming together of the congressmen and senators, and from both parties, and their resolve, and the action the president took, as compared to a lot of the news agency has. Now I'm going to make as soon as I can, I'm going to be able to go to Washington D.C. I'm going to go down and see those people, the citizens of that town, who are putting up with this and who are going to come out of it. Same thing with New York City. I think it's tragedy for what happened, but the people of that city are beginning to show some they're showing resolve to get over it. And when I hear this, there has been awful things happening. We've had terrorist attacks across the world. The percentage-wise terrorist attacks in the population, what's happening has happened in Israel for the last year, is probably just about as great as the percentage of a much larger population here in the United States.
I'm interested.
I was just saying that it is a tragic thing that happened today. It's a tragic thing that we will go on. But the same thought that the world will not go on because President Kennedy being killed, the world will not go on because the Challenger blew up. This is much larger. I realize that. It will take much longer to deal with the people who are involved. You've got to figure that each and every one of those people who are killed in the World Trade Towers has at least 5 to 6 other people connected with them. The stories are going to go on.